What's up, it's your boy KC, how y'all doing? Welcome to episode 3 of Dragonball Debunk, and today's fan theory is that Goku is a selfish person. Now this is strictly from Dragon Ball Z, because Dragon Ball was a different beast in itself. Goku was there to save his friends, he was always there. So I'm just talking about Dragon Ball Z. Now what makes this difficult is that Goku has made a lot of selfish decisions, but they had a lot of positives and negatives to some of the decisions that he's made. So that's what this video is going to be about. So here we go. Now in order to understand what I'm talking about, you have to go by both the manga and the Dragon Ball Z series because they both portray Goku as different people. The manga has Goku in a more selfish attitude type of way. He is a good guy, no doubt. But Goku has made a lot of questionable decisions in the manga that they didn't show in the actual anime. So you have to know the differences. Let's start off with the Raditz conflict. Goku died to save the world and protect his family from Raditz. This decision has both positives and negatives to it, and you'll see this a lot in this video. Goku died for a year. People call him selfish because he stayed away from his family for a year, and that is selfish. But there are positives to his decision because if Goku had come back right then when everybody wanted him to, everybody would have died. Vegeta and Nappa would have wiped everybody out, sold the planet Earth, or destroyed it. Either one. Goku wouldn't have been strong enough to fight them. It was essential that Goku trained with King Kai, learned the Kaioken technique, and the Genki Dama. So it has positives to it. Let's zip forward here. In the battle against Vegeta, Vegeta is badly beaten up after a hell of a fight with Goku and Gohan and Krillin. Vegeta is about to get to a space pod and Krillin has Yajirobe's sword and he's about to kill Vegeta, but Goku stops him. Now this is the difference that I was telling you guys about when it comes to the manga and the anime, because these two parts are different. In the anime, Goku says not to kill Vegeta because remember when Piccolo came to him, he was evil and now he's on their side. Implementing that Goku sees good in Vegeta. That's what the anime gave us. And the manga, the only reason why Goku let Vegeta go is because he never fought somebody that's strong before and he wanted to fight him again. That is the only reason why he told Krillin to let him go. So he was willing to put the Earth in danger again just to fight Vegeta. It doesn't matter that he had a hand in killing all of his friends and destroying a lot of people in cities. Goku wanted to fight him again. So that is a check mark for selfish. So we move on to the Freezes Saga. Goku had everybody transported off Namek to Earth so that he could finish his fight with Frieza. That is unselfish. That's a mark for unselfish. However, after he beat Frieza, he could have come home, but he decided not to. I don't know if it took them long to fix his spaceship so he could come home, or Goku just wanted to stay there and train and become stronger. And knowing Goku is probably the latter. So that's a check for selfish because there's no reason why he couldn't come home and train and become a controlled Super Saiyan. He trained Gohan in the hyperbolic time chamber to become stronger than him, as every father wants his son to do better than him. So that is a check for unselfish. On the other hand, when it came to fighting Cell and Gohan was getting his ass kicked, 11-year-old kid getting his ass kicked by a strong superpowered being, Goku did nothing. And that is a check for selfish. Because if anybody is hurting my child, if I had kids, if anybody was hurting my child, I would bust their ass. I don't care what I had to do. Scratch, claw, punch, kick, bite, whatever to save my child, and Goku didn't do that. For the second time, Goku gave his life to save the world from destruction. That is a check mark for unselfish. And on top of that, he believed in his son enough. He believed that he could beat Cell when nobody else thought he could. And Gohan beat Cell. So that is a check for faith in your son. That is a check for unselfish. For those of you who want to count the movies, he did come back to save Gohan in BoJack Unbound, because if Goku did not interfere and punch BoJack like he did, Gohan would have been crushed to death. So that is a check for unselfish. Now this is one of the other decisions that have both positives and negatives to it, and it involves Goku's death. People get mad because he decided to stay dead for 7 years instead of being a part of his kids' and his wife's lives. That is a selfish decision. On the other hand, if Goku did not die and he didn't train any other world, there would be no finger fusion because he learned that while he was dead. That's one. Two, he would have learned Super Saiyan 3 much later than he did, because you have to remember that the Super Saiyan 3 form takes a lot of ki to power that form, and it drains the user's life force as well. Goku said that he was able to push his body further while being dead. So that means that if he had a hard time achieving that form and using that form when he was dead, that leads me to believe that there's no way in hell that Goku would have been able to do that in the 7 years that he was alive, because who else would he have trained with? In the other world, he had different types of people that he can learn different things from, that he can learn different techniques, and that he was able to push his body a lot harder being dead because he was already dead. Who would he train with in the living world? Gohan, who at that point was the strongest person on Earth. Gohan was. And even if Goku came back and trained with his son, he would probably become just as strong as Gohan or a stronger version of a Super Saiyan 2, but I do not think Goku would have reached Super Saiyan 3 in those 7 years. I think it would have took him much longer to do so. That's my personal opinion. Another positive to it is that if Goku did come back, Gohan wouldn't have become a flaming pussy and stopped fighting the way that he did. He would have continued to train and fight. That's my personal opinion there. Going back to the 10-day wait before the Cell games, Goku spent 10 days with his family and his friends. He told Gohan to study. He was there for Gohan's birthday party. He went fishing with him, spent a lot of time with them, being a dad. So that is a check for unselfish. We move on to the Buu arc. Right before Son Goku and Vegeta are about ready to fight Kid Buu, Kid Buu blows up the planet. This is one of the most selfish decisions that Goku has ever made, especially being a parent. He chose to save Hercule and Dende. Dende I can understand, because if he dies, there's no Dragon Balls. I can understand that. But your first instinct, if you are a good parent, your first instinct is to make sure that your children are safe first, and Goku did not do that. Both Gohan and Goten died along with the planet. Goku should have saved them first, and that is a big check for selfish. At the end of Dragon Ball Z, Goku takes Oob, a kid that he just met, took him to train him. Yes, he left his family once again. That is a check for selfish, but it does have some positives to it, because if I'm Goku, I'm thinking to myself, somebody has to take my place. I have to train somebody to step up to save the Earth when I die eventually. So who else does he have? Gohan's a pussy, Goten's a slacker, so what is Goku supposed to do there? That's the only positive that I see there. And last but not least, whether you're watching the movies or you're watching the actual anime, whether he's late or not, Goku is always there to save his friends. That is the absolute truth. He's been that way through Dragon Ball, through Dragon Ball Z, GT, even though that doesn't even count no more, and now Super. That is a big mark for unselfish. So after running down my list, I have 7 checks on the selfish column, and I have 10 checks on the unselfish column for Goku. And 3 checks on each side include the decisions that have both positives and negatives to it. Goku dying against Raditz. If he didn't die and train for that year, the Earth would have been wiped out by Nappa and Vegeta. And Goku dying against Cell. If he didn't stay dead for 7 years and train in the other world, he would have learned Super Saiyan 3 much later, and he wouldn't have learned the finger fusion. And Goku taking Oob to train because he needed someone to take over the mantle of hero of the world when Goku eventually dies. So I come to the conclusion that in my personal opinion, Goku is definitely not a selfish person. He's always been there for his friends. He does care about them and love them. and Goku has saved them on countless times. And that's all I got to say for this video. Check out my other 2 episodes of Dragon Ball Debunked. Is future Goten Goku Black? And where did future Trunks get his sword from? Because he didn't get it from Tapion. Check out both of those videos. I'll check you out later. Peace.